piggyback off first is the idea of, like you said, with no shade, of course, but it's also just like honesty and transparency, whatever. You know, I feel a lot of people who build platforms, pursue certain things, have passions, we come across those same situations like, word, we ain't gonna post, you ain't gonna do this, you ain't going, I support you in this way, you're not gonna do it that way. Yeah. And then we all also, often people complain about not getting reciprocated energy, not feeling support. But then there's always this fucking weird ass cycle. And it's funny, years ago I had this conversation like, is it a Philly thing? And I used to always push back on it. I'm a person that's always going to defend Philly. Yeah, of course. But when people say, no, like certain shit is Philly behavior, like dick eating is Philly behavior, or niggas not showing love, niggas playing too cool for school type shit, whatever. Now, looking back on it in hindsight, I'm still not going to say, I'm still going to be on the hill for Philly, but it might just be nigga shit. That might just be it, whatever. So, you know, I went through in my situation, my platform, where niggas be, yo, Q, this is the first podcast I've ever been on. You had such a dope perspective how you did it. It was great. Hospitality, this and that. Then it's like, yo, whenever this go out, though, yo, I'm da-da-da-da. Post it. Crickets. Never see this thing ever again. Never see. And then this is actually, and mind you, early on my podcast journey, I used to have what I call a fuck you forever list. I still have it, though. I have it just in life in general.
I know that list exists.
Yeah, I have it. I just have it just in general or whatever. But early on, it was essentially built off like, my nigga, like, look me dead in my face, and then once the podcast go, you act like it never happened, like, and then I feel like it started being more of an insult where it's like, let's say you go to fucking whatever X podcast or platform that's bigger,
XYZ, right?
Yeah, right. But then you dick eat them though. After you had many different other cycles of people that gave you your first opportunity, gave you when y'all first was building whatever, coming to saying, and then let's say you have Ascension, whatever, you go to a bigger platform, let's say Joe Budden, whatever, and then, yo, shout out to Joe Budden, I had a great time yesterday, posting it 18 times, digging on Joe Budden, who know you from a can of paint, whatever, but people that actually see you face to face from the same city, same environment, you can't give them the same just reciprocated respect and love. I feel it always come back to a sense of respect.
I got two questions. One, first starting with, have you directly communicated to them with no gray area of how the post schedule will go?
So great question. Early on I didn't. Early on I didn't, and because, you know, we talked about this a few episodes ago where it's like you can't expect yourself from others, and I had to learn that in that way where it's like, oh, okay, like if I go anywhere and someone, like you said, and I feel like Instagram make it even easier these days where they do, like, you can do the mutual thing, where,
the
collab thing. Niggas denying a collab is crazy. Like,
you gotta leave it pending. You can't deny it. Now, like, let me just put this on the record for anybody who collab I've left pending, right? Communicate with me the time that you plan to post, because I don't like a spontaneous, impromptu collab request, because I may have been about to post something on my account at that time.
That's fair.
And I don't know how the algorithm treats certain things. And to my experience in marketing, what I've saw, and I'm not going to say that this is the exact thing that happens, but I believe, based on experience, that if somebody's account is shadow banned, they can actually mess up your algorithm. So I'm kind of like, let me send you a collab request, because I have the bigger reach, and I'd rather Instagram expose it to my platform and then collab with you than me try to funnel it through yours and then we get no love. And I only say that because I have multiple accounts, my business accounts that I always collab with. And whenever I drop it from my business account first, no, it's crickets. Like you said, whenever I drop it from the Wolf page, I get way more traction to the business page. So that's just something that I analyzed.
That's fair. And I'll give you that edge to even, that could be true. And that's probably is true. And to be honest, that was how I was early on. By the middle and the end of it, I kind of stopped giving a fuck.
No, you created a fuck you forever.
No, that's because no matter what, you got to be accountable for your actions. So to me, if you don't do thorough shit, you're not a thorough nigga. I'm not mad about it though, or it is what it is. Or I would expect most people just not be thorough, which is cool, whatever. Like, so I would still hold people accountable to their actions, but I stopped being pressed about it and just add it to the list and move on about it, whatever.
So wait, but you are getting to add it to the list.
Absolutely. Like, and people, and by the list, I feel like everybody in life should have a fuck you forever list. Where this, again, you don't gotta be extreme as me, but it's like this, right? Let's say someone's on fuck you forever list. Not saying it's beef, I want to do something to you, anything like that, whatever. However, I can die on the hill. I don't care if you become president of the United States. I would not want to do anything to do with you. I don't want nothing. I don't give a fuck what access, privilege. And if I become president of the United States, don't come to me about anything in life, nigga. Don't be like, yo, I'm Wayne in jail, pardon me. Rot in that bitch. I don't give a fuck. And I will sleep at night with peace because it's not weighing heavy on my heart at all, but we got to hold each other accountable. I feel we as men gotta be accountable, especially.
Yeah, we're gonna talk a lot about accountability today, but before we get into accountability, let's talk about forgiveness. Is that a thing with you?
Forgiveness.
Do you have a forgiveness list?
Do I have a forgiveness list? No. But that's an interesting question. Is that a thing? I can't say it's a thing if I have to forgive you. Now, sometimes before I get to like that level, I may just fall back on something, whatever. That has happened where it's like, some people I call friends or social, I might mentally, emotionally demote you or something like that. So like you spoke before, it's like, if I'm going to a 10 for you, but you're going consistently as a 5, like, all right, cool, I'll just bring it down. And I don't want nothing to happen to you, or we can still socialize, but it's just a different type of thing. Or if I say I fall back to a 0 and we don't talk, I had a friend where those were my closest friends and shit changed, whatever, and I just went down to a 0. So I never, I never hated him, fuck you forever list, but we had to have another conversation. He's like, yo, what's going on? To check the temperature, whatever. And then that was that. So it still was, I didn't forgive him for anything. I just had to fall back and later on time receive context.
You know why I speak about forgiveness? And it's actually in Cheating Is Not Cheating. I got 2 chapters. One is how to forgive, and the second one is should you forgive. Okay. And they go back to back or whatever, because I feel like before you can even determine if you should forgive, you need to learn how to forgive. But also in the art of accountability, I talk about acceptance, which I feel like is the first level to forgiveness, right? So they do intertwine in a way. I feel like I seen, I think they said Buddha, or somebody had a quote where it was like, holding on to, and I'm not saying you're holding on to anger, but I said, but holding on to anger is like holding a hot rock in your hand with the intent to throw it at the person who hurt you. But in the process, who's being hurt? So it's like, when we think about forgiveness, this is never really for the other person. Like, I like the concept of a fuck you forever list. That's funny as shit to me, but it's not in a non-forgiving way. Like, it's more like, if I was to have a fuck you forever list, it's just to remind myself that you don't fuck with me like that. But I still forgive you. So I don't have no anger, no animosity, no none of that. But I have to have a constant reminder that when this shit is all said and done, you don't fuck with me. Unless we recenter, regather, you represent yourself and actually be a new person, and I can accept that new version of you. The old version is still on the fuck you forever list. Like, I'm pretty sure the old version of me is on a lot of people's fuck you forever list. I can't act like it's not. I know if you look back on it, they like, man, like my brother said this shit to me. He said, I fuck with the wolf. I ain't fuck with Nasty now. Like, and it's like, that's funny because when he said it, I understood exactly what he meant. It was strictly like, I never had bad character. But I had ways. And it's like, if you don't better your ways, people will keep you on that fuck you forever list. So I think it's 2 sides. So I think it's dope that you have it, but I do want you to start thinking about forgiveness.
I respect that. And I know you saying y'all, I always say receive. I received that.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
No,
that's your way of
processing it
and processing and acknowledging that you're not disregarding what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're just about to give your perspective.
Exactly, for sure.
Respect.
And I'll definitely mellow, because again, that's just like life shit. I feel a lot of our coming back to therapeutic conversations and shit like that. I feel like a lot of things we talk about, they are meant for, of course, the viewers and listeners to process, but also for us to be like, all right, that's interesting, whatever. So I'm gonna think about that some more. But I do feel in the vacuum, how I stand on it right now is I feel I don't really have like real animosity weighing heavy on me for anybody though. Like I said, that's why I wanted to like harp on like it's accountability. Like, oh, cool, like I'm gonna just hold you to that. And now to your point where I may not give someone an opportunity to present a new self. I like the way you framed that. That's fair, but it ain't weighing heavy on me though. It's like, all right, cool. You tell me no, I'm a new person in some way. It's like, that's okay.
But that's the scary part about it. Because it should, because if it don't weigh heavy on you, then that means it's a lack of empathy in there. I
do have lack of empathy.
Okay.
For sure.
So before we unpack that particular issue, no, because that's dope that you're acknowledging that.